from making $75,000 a year to $75,000 a month. You talk about a girl from the hood, a girl who ain't know nothing about having money in the bank. Literally. How's that happen? It's a God thing. It's a God divine timing thing. It's a divine orchestration with women like this who see greatness in you and are willing to open the doors.
Women of faith, and I'm going to say this may hurt just a little bit. We think we can just stay in that little cubicle, that little corner. Oh, I know God, I can pray, I can do all this. We just do that. And we say things, I'm waiting on God. He's sitting back like, girl, can y'all tell them I'm waiting on them? They're not waiting on me. You're not waiting on me. It's already done.
Hello everyone, it's your girl Coco from SWV, and you're watching Girl on Fire, hosted by Jesus, Coffee, and Prayer. Now, my definition of a girl on fire is myself. I'm a mother, I'm a daughter, a sister, a friend, entrepreneur. I'm fabulous, but most of all, I'm a king's kid. Much love and God bless.
God has graced you to create. He just gave that to me just now. I didn't have that before. He has graced you to create, right? So if the first thing our Heavenly Father did was create, so the question is, what has He called you to create? This is your favorite sis, Minister Nakita Davis, the proud CEO and founder of Jesus Coffee and Prayer Christian Publishing House, the #1 Christian publishing house in the land. And I'm so excited tonight. If you don't know, you should know. We are girls on fire up in here tonight. I'm so excited. I've got some amazing glow getters, women of faith, girl bosses. They are moving and shaking in this season. They did it all 2020, all year long, and now they plan to do it for 2021 as well. They're going to give you those tips, those tools, those strategies through us having a conversation, just a panel to empower you. So I'm so excited. So make sure you're taking notes. You've got your pen, you've got your paper, whatever you need to do, you need to pick this up because these women are moving and shaking and you want to be in the know. Well, as I welcome you all to this event, again, I thank you so much for being here. I know you're wildly busy. You all have conferences, hopping off of interviews, hopping on planes, trains, and automobiles, okay? So I know you're busy and I won't take long of your time, but I want to start off by just going round table for each one of my beautiful queens to let us know who you are, where you're from, what do you do, how do you empower other women to be girls on fire just like you. So we'll start with Frances and then we'll work our way around, okay?
Okay, my name is Frances Jones and I'm the founder of Heart Desires Fulfillment Coaching. I founded that organization in 2016. And the way I started it is I wanted to find more about what my life was meant to be, who I was meant to be. And I had to do some deep discovering, looking deep within myself to find the true person that I was created to be. In that business, I help women and men to do two things. On the infertility coaching side, there are so many people who are dealing with the heartache, the wrenching torments of not being able to conceive, and they get stuck and they get lost and they get so caught up in wanting to have children that they lose that part of themselves that make them who they really are. I help them to deal with those emotions and to be able to move past so they can have peace in their journey of infertility. I also have a transformational life purpose coaching business. And with that, helping people to change their mindset, to be able to look within themselves and say, I have confidence to find the real me, to do the things that I know are hidden in my heart that maybe I'm a little intimidated to go after, to help them transform their thinking, to know that they can be whatever and whoever they choose to be. And I'm helping people to do that, to find themselves and to move forward in life, because life has so many wonderful things to offer.
Come on, Queen. Yes, I love it. I love it. I'm sorry. Look, y'all have to excuse me, honey. One of my favorite movies is Love Jones. Okay, you can't tell me, my husband, I'm not Nia Long, and he's Lorenz Tate. And for my queens who might be watching this somewhere else, they may not know. Just Google it. So that's how I give love. So don't even worry about it. I love that, Queen. That's awesome. So basically, what I'm hearing you to say is you took the pain that you endure and found a way to help other women, excuse me, to take it to the next level and to be able to find out really who they are through what you do and what you provide. And you give them confidence while you do it. So I love that, Queen. Thank you so much. All right, my Queen, Charcora. Go ahead, Queen, and let them know what you do, where you're from, and how you empower them in this season.
My name is Charcora Palmer, and I am the founder and CEO of Total Power Financial Solutions. I started the organization or my business several years ago, combined 13 years. We were Go Restore My Credit.com and formulated into Total Power Financial Solutions so that we can focus on more than credit, because a lot of our clients come with goals in mind. So we added some services and some tools to help queens and kings to just optimize their lives and their financial, in the financial sense of the word, and also to empower them to not only repair their credit, but to also purchase properties, pay off student loans, just providing that financial literacy piece. And even for our young people, we provide a financial literacy program to teach them while they are young, what is credit? How do you balance your books? What is a credit card? Those things, so that they learn before they actually get into adulthood, and they can use those tools, you know, as a teachable moment in their adulthood, so that they can possibly they could not go through the rough things that us as adults may have with being immature in financial realm. So that is one of the tools that we use in order to empower and to educate. But specifically, one thing that I love about my business is that I treat my business as ministry. A lot of people come to me because they have issues. Yes, they may be coming to me for the financial side, but there are some things that they have gone through in life to maybe cause those financial conditions. It could be loss of a job. It could be loss of income, if they had a business, even divorce. So it empowers me and makes me feel successful when I can help you put your life back together, to get you back on track, and maybe even dream again, or make you reach for the goals that you have and set out for yourself, and you just don't know how. It has been a tremendous blessing. Like I say, my business is my ministry. So if I can help somebody else come out, because yes, I went through, I needed my credit repaired. I had to bounce back after a divorce. I had to bounce back with even after losing the business. I had to bounce back from a lot of things. And I often say that my life has been oppressed. Nothing has come easy. But if I can make it through, I want to empower others to also do the same and keep pressing forward and never give up. So Total Power Financial Solutions, power in that word, it's in the name, it stands for positioning our wealth for economic redevelopment. So we're going to be taught to not only manage our finances, but we're going to be taught to be a blessing and to buy up the blocks. Okay, reach out to your community, be a blessing to the community. And that's what makes the success of my business, to be able to empower those that may not see hope, that may not see a way out, to go for it and possess the land.
Come on, Queen. That's it right there. Amen. What a collection play that. I'm passing it around. Just make sure it come back to me when you finish now. Now, just bring it back. But no, I love that. That's so good. Whatever you do, whatever God has called you to do, because as I stated, the women here are women of faith, right? So it doesn't matter what you do. God doesn't care what you do as long as you acknowledge him in all your ways. So I don't care. I joke with folks and I tell them, I don't care if I was selling shoestrings. He's going to get the glory out of me, because I'm going to do it with excellence. Those shoestrings, they're going to be tight. I'm going to have all kind of bows and colors and glitter, sparkles on the shoestrings. But I love what you said, helping people get their financial situation, because often, you know, that is a piece to them having some level of joy and happiness. Not that it's about the money. I think people misconstrue that. But in order to be a lender and not a borrower, in order for me to be able to give back financially from a financial standpoint, the word says word and deed, right? So we want to give them the word. Oh, I speak over your life. And that's beautiful. And people need that. And I love that. I recognize my spiritual gift is encouragement, but deed got to pop off in there. And sometimes that deed in a tangible way is money. But you got to be in a position to give. You understand? And so I love what you do. So that's fantastic, Queen. We're going to deep dive into that some more. Now we have my queen over here, Kearn. Come on off that mute, beauty queen. Love that shirt, mama, on fire.
Thank you.
Yes. Let us know.
Happy to be here. I'm Kearn Cherry. I'm known as the butts in the seat queen. I actually own a few businesses. One, my home care business for over 23 plus years, been featured in Essence twice for that particular business. I am also the co-founder and director of Success Women's Conference, where we had over 17,000, that's right, 17,000 people tuned in last month for our conference. We normally do it in person and have around 1,000, so we were happy to go global this year. I'm also the founder of Power Up Summit, where I encourage people to come in and power up your life, power up your business, your finances, your health, because after what we're going through right now, everybody needs to power up their life. And then Level Up. Level Up is another conference that I run, and it's all about leveling up your visibility and profitability, because we all know at the end of the day, you need to be visible in order to be profitable. And so I'm all about empowering people and connecting people and forming collaborations. I do believe that you can do so much more when you collaborate with other people. As people often say, you should be doing more collaborations versus competition, because you can just get a lot more done and you can make a lot more money. In 2021, I want to encourage people to increase their visibility. Increase your visibility on this digital platform. One thing COVID has helped us do is shrink the world. So you don't have to, as my good friend Dr. Cheryl would say, swim in your pond, in the pond that you live in. You can now go into the global ocean. The world is yours if you choose to use it. So I want to encourage people to be more visible. As a person who coaches on creating your own event, profitable that is, creating your own event, I want to encourage you ladies, don't have any more parties. Be done with that. Having events, having, all kind of things just to gather people together. But at the end of the day, everybody leaves full and you leave with empty pockets. And at the end of the day, eventually you're discouraged. So I want to encourage you to have an event. Number one, if you're speaking, if you are a speaker, a coach, or author, you should be having at least one event in 2021, because I believe 2021 is the year of the speakers. That's right, because guess what? The playing field is level right now. The playing field is level. The digital world has made the playing field for speakers level. You see everybody online right now. You see Les Brown online. You see Forrest Riley online. You see Dr. Frazier, Iana Van Zandt, Lisa Nichols. I mean, all these top people, they're online just like you. And so it is your time to increase your visibility. It is your time to walk in your God-given gifts, y'all. You got them sitting inside of you. Why are you sitting on it? You know God's going to get his testimony one way or another. So you might as well make it in 2021. Take your gifting and walk in your blessing. Walk in faith. Stop talking faith. Start walking in faith. And make 2021 your year. If you didn't do it in 2020, which you know a lot of us did pretty good in 2020. So let's go ahead and turn this COVID upside down and make it your year, 2021.
Come on, Queen. Yes, honey. Yes, honey. You dropped some gems and some nuggets in there. And we're going to have some time to go deep dive in that. But I love what you said. The playing field is even. Y'all, I need you to understand that whoever you think in your mind, we're not idolizing anyone, but we are giving respect where respect is due. And there are some movers and shakers that have to go before you so they can create the platform for you. Take advantage of that because they're on the same playing field as you. They may be more inclined to partner with you because guess where they at? At home, just like you. They're at home just like you. Their events got canceled. I don't care. It was a $100,000 event canceled. You understand? They were supposed to be in Africa. They were supposed to be in Australia. They were supposed to be giving the keynote at blah, 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 blah. Cancel. So they have more opportunity. And last time I checked, they still got to get fed. So that means they're more inclined to connect with you, right? Again, not that they're better than you as a human being, but on the level where you can level up, as Kearn just stated to you, level up in this season. If you don't walk away with anything else from this whole Girl on Fire, it's your time to level up. Pick up these clues, pick up these nuggets, stop being scared, and do what God has called you to do, because if you do, there's victory on the other side of that. And these women right here and the other women that you're hearing from are living proof of that. So we're going to keep that moving, and we're going to come back. I got a couple of, definitely have some questions for you so we can pull that out. Queen Tonya B, Dr. Tonya Blackmon. Yes, let me get professional real quick. Come on, Queen, tell who you are, where you are, what you do, how you empower folks in a mighty way.
Oh, thank you so much for having me on here tonight, Minister Nakita, and God blesses to all of the Queen that I'm just so honored to be here. Once again, my name is Dr. Tonya Blackmon. I go by Dr. Tonya B. I am the proud owner of Conglomerate Empowerment, aka CGE, and for the past 10 years, I have been helping women secure their own bags. Yes, I have. We recently did an event in August, and I don't know, it's been about maybe 2,000 women or so that were blessed by that particular event. And I'm looking forward to doing another one in 2021 because we are on fire. And for the last 10 years, what we've been doing is we've been putting people in place to apply for federal contracts. Now, if you're listening to me, I want you to hear this word right here, this next two words, 597 million, three words actually, dollars, 597 trillion dollars. That's how much money the federal government paid for federal contracts last year, okay? That's a lot of money. You know what that's telling me? I think we need to make the government our customer, do we not? And that's exactly what we do. We do it with pleasure. We do it on purpose. We help sisters get in the game. We take you by the hand. We help you form your nonprofits. We help you form your limited liability companies. We set you in place so you can put in for those grants and for you to get them. So now is the time. This is a true story. For the last 24 hours, I've talked to at least 10 people in my DM, all about starting new business, all about scaling their new businesses. And since COVID-19, it's been, I know I've helped at least 50 people start new businesses. People are starting businesses. Get in the game, my sister. Get in the game.
I love it, Queen. Yes, and I've had the opportunity to work with this beauty queen on quite a few projects, and she is so genuine and so real about that. I've literally seen her help some of my clients get in the game, and they rave about you when we talk. So I know that it's legit, too legit to quit. Okay, so love that, love that. Well, again, Queens, if you're just tuning in, all of these women are absolutely phenomenal. Let's be clear, you will have an opportunity to get their handles, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, if they got TikTok, PikPok, you can get all of that from them. We just not gonna stop, okay? See, you didn't know I could rhyme. See, I do that sometimes. You know, I moonlight. But what I'm trying to say to you is they're phenomenal. All of these women can get you in the game, if not themselves, which I highly doubt that they can't. But if they can't, they are so well connected in the universe that they can point you, lead you to the right direction. They believe in collaboration. So that means if they don't have it by some chance, they're going to connect you with another queen or another king who can get you in the game. That's the key here that I'm hoping you're walking away with. In order to get and be on fire, you've got to get connected with the right people who are moving and shaking. Not only do they have their interests at heart, but they have your best interests at heart. So I just want to go ahead and put that out there just in case you didn't know. So now I want to take the opportunity, queens, and just kind of round table it with you all, and let's just talk holistically. I want us to get real, right? Because I know this is a fireside chat, and I know the women want to find out about you, but check it out. And this is what I told the other set of queens that I talked to. I said, look, if they want cookie cutter, they can just go to Google, right? And so my whole thing is I don't want them to have to go to Google because I've got experts right here on the line. So let's talk about really and truly that woman who says, I know God has equipped me with more. It's in the pit of my belly. However, 2020 was egregious. I'm feeling discouraged. I'm not really sure what the first step is to soar in 2021. So I just want to round table that, and whoever wants to pick that up first, what would be some of the tips that you would share that this young lady does? And then kind of tell us what you've done whenever you have felt stuck. So one, how do you empower them because they've had such a crazy 2020? Right? And then two, let's share a little bit of your story and how you were able to make that pivot, but specifically with 2020 taking place. So whoever wants to take that, queens. And you don't all have to talk at once. Whoever feels empowered to speak that, go ahead, come off the mute and let them know.
Okay, I'll take it. All right, so one of the most important things when you're stuck, you have to look within yourself and find out where you really want to go. Now, that may not be easily understood immediately. Sometimes we can take what we call frustration and wanting to go further to think that I'm not grateful for where I am right now. And so what you want to do is you want to get clear, get some time alone. Write out literally the things that you have in your heart that you believe you want to do. Write them out. State why. Why is this important to you? Because if you can't even understand why it's important to you, you may not have the desire to go after it. So make your list. This is what I believe I have passion. This is what I believe I have talent in. And this is what I believe I can do if I'm able to obtain the things that I want to obtain. So if you have a business plan, let's say you want to go into business. Do you have a business plan? Do you know how to write a business plan? Do you know what it takes to even begin to say, I want to be a business owner? There's so much information that you can gather, but the most important information is to understand what type of business would you like to have and why. The why is going to always take you to the goal. And I'm not talking about money goal. I'm talking about wisdom goal. If you don't have wisdom, you will perish in a sense because there's no direction and you're just going anywhere. Now, what have I done? There's been times when I felt trapped, working a 9-to-5 because I knew there was more to me than what I was giving out. And I was not creating. I'm not saying there's anything wrong with being an employee. That's beautiful. That's where we start. But if you know there's something deeper within you, don't be afraid to look and say, what is it that's causing the frustration in my life? And I'm talking about the frustration of discontentment, so to speak. That discontentment is a roadmap. It's a guide to say, hey, you are supposed to evolve to something more than what you are. It's not being grateful for what you already have. If we don't have something stirring within us, we'll be content and we'll never move forward. So what I had to do was I had to get clear. I actually made that list that I'm telling you to make. I made that list, and I wrote the pros and I wrote the cons of it. And I wrote every obstacle that I could think of that would cause me to step back. Because if I look at what's the worst that can happen, if I go forward, that fear moves out the way. If you really want to remove fear, face it head on. Face it and say, okay, the worst I can do is put money into something and it doesn't work. Okay, so guess what? You've learned nuggets. You learn what to do and what not to do in that situation. And then begin to look at yourself and say, okay, so now I tried this. What's the next step? The next step is to just make sure that you are able to understand what it takes in order to get known. Connect with people. Don't be afraid to deep dive within yourself and to say, I don't know something. It's okay. There's no shame in saying, I don't know. But if you never try, you never do. I have a sign that I keep in my living room. Don't be afraid to fail. Be afraid not to try. And if you try, you'll never fail because you learn every step of the way.
Queen, that's so good. I'm gonna just piggyback off of that. I tell folks, and I want to make sure, look, my own saying can't even get it right. Lord help me, it's all good. But you know, I feel like I never fail, right? Because if anything, I'm going to learn. I can't lose. That's what it is. I can't lose. Like I can't lose. And that sounds crazy. It's not a cocky. It's not a oh, Nakita thinks she all this or that. No, I just know who God has called me to be, and I wake up on default winning, like period, because of the blood of the Lamb, and I'm a believer in the body of Christ. I win regardless, and I don't care what happens. It may be a tumultuous day. I may not like it. Every day the sun ain't quote unquote shining in the human sense, but even in that sense, the sun is still shining, and so I win regardless. It's an absolute attitude that regardless of what may, even down to your business, that I'm gonna win and I'm gonna flourish, and even if I fall flat on my face, I'm going to get back up and I'm going to win and I'm going to learn those nuggets. So I love that. And that actually piggybacks really, really well. Kearn, I want to come into you because she mentioned that visibility, and that's so important. And you think about it, even from Francis, for what you do in your coaching world, right? Some folks may think, oh, well, why do I need visibility in that? I want to help people with fertility and to get over those roadblocks. Kearn, let the people know why, even in that, no matter what she's coaching, why visibility is so important and how you've been able to leverage yourself to gain the visibility to help you maximize, your profitability, and how you've been able to then help others do the same. So let's talk about that.
So yeah, I'm glad you asked, because I was gonna piggyback off of Francis with the clarity thing. I do feel like people have utilized, you know, many of us have to work a job, right? That's true. But how many times in our lives do we get COVID, right? One to where when you leave your job and you come home, you ain't got nothing else to do. You ain't got no movie to go to. You ain't got no trip to go on. You ain't got no place to go hang out. Your time to focus and to get clarity is right now. And Francis said it well. Sit down, write out your plans, write out your ideas, write out all those things. So last year, when I was coming off of Success, one of the biggest stages, at least in our region now, nationally, I spent some time for myself to do that as well, because sometimes you can still be swimming in your backyard. As big as Success was, we were still in our backyard. 25 states appeared, but we were not going big enough. So my focus, one of my focus that I did starting this year, was to increase my visibility. You know, a lot of people know me, but on the national and international stage, it wasn't big enough. So I'm telling people, look, that some people talk about moving in silence. Stop that. Nobody knows you if you moving in silence. And guess what? Your pockets ain't as full as it should be. right? Your gifts that God has given you. Now, what does the scripture say? When you make room for your gift, the world will make room for you. Hello, did somebody hear money? Cha-ching. That's the first thing. When you walk in your gifting, okay, I think that's Proverbs 18:16. You're going to naturally make money. Money's going to come to you because God already said it, and you know he ain't a liar, right? So you got to walk, number one, in your gifting. Number two, go on purpose to be visible. Get on platforms, not just speaking. I'm talking podcasts, radio shows, magazines, magazine features, magazine covers. You need to get visible. It is not enough for your friends and family and your extended people and the chamber and all those other people to know you. Do you see how the world has literally minimized everything that we do locally right now? If you still doing locally, trust me, you're going to be out of business soon. It is important to become socialized on the digital platform. If you've been hesitating about, I don't want to be on Facebook and Instagram because, you know, people going to know my business, guess what? They already know your business. It's just a matter of you maximizing your business. And you are a brand. Hello, every person listening right now, every person is a brand. How you choose your brand to be represented is up to you. You can't complain if nobody see you, or if they look at your page and they see a dog as your profile. Hello, is that what you are? Come on, you got to represent. You got to represent. And look, you hear people say all the time, your story ain't your story. How many of you have still not published a book? And I'm not talking about publishing. All you got to do is be a chapter in the book. Share your story. That is another part of your brand. God has meant for us to tell testimonies. And so all of these things lead to visibility. You know, I run a book project, and I'll talk about that later, but the point is that this helps your visibility. All these things that I'm talking about increases your visibility. Ladies, stop being embarrassed for people to recognize you. Stop being embarrassed about being recognized for award. And I'm talking to my Christian women because most of them are modest, especially our head ladies, our first ladies. We're not stepping out and allowing God to get his glory. God won't forget, it ain't about you, it's about him. So when you go get that award, no, he is getting the glory, not you, him. So if the award's out there and you know you fit the bill and some, put your name in. If you ain't nobody else doing it, you do it. Because he needs his testimonies. How do we bring people to God? You got to do your testimonies so other people can see what he's doing in your life so that he can get the glory. So more people will come to know the word. So be the testimony. Promote yourself. Be visible. Don't just have a business. I'm saying promote your business, and while you're promoting your business, promote you. You and your business are separate. One of my favorite coaches said today, Trevor, I said, look, you got to promote you and your business. And y'all, get a virtual assistant, get you or somebody to help you along with this stuff. It's not enough to do it yourself anymore. And promote yourself. I do it. You can go to my page. You can see it. I promote all the time, and I promote other people.
Love it, love it, love it, Queen. That is so good. Come on. Yes, yes. So good. And I love you really hit the nail on the head. And I feel like a broken record sometimes because my Christian women. So here's the deal. I am an ordained minister. I love the Lord. I'm not in love with religion. And in the concept of, you know, you think being modest, you're honoring God. Understand what I mean? You still move humbly, but you're giving him the glory. A city upon a hill cannot be what? Right? So you are the city upon a hill. You are the city upon a hill. So guess what? Why do you think some folks like these queens that you see right here, I can tell you personally, you can check these women are glowing up. I literally can just snapshot awards, ceremonies, events, schools, one coming from interviews, one being honored here, I mean, literally, and not, so please don't get this misconstrued. It's not that we're saying, oh, they say nowadays, now, come on, you got to say in the know, they say do it for the clout. We're not saying you're doing it for the clout, but we are doing it for Christ and where he gets the glory. And in addition to that, as Karen said, your gift makes room for you. You no longer, if there becomes a time that you no longer have to chase, and it will chase you. The very people that can I get on there? Will they give me a seat at their table? They start knocking on your door, trying to get a seat at your table. You understand me? And I'm saying this as a living witness, vice versa, right? So do and operate in the spirit, but you've got to get the visibility. That is so important. If I had to say anything, with me being a publisher, that's my main baby, but obviously you all know I speak and I do a host of things, but mainly the publishing and the speaking, but I help my queens get visibility as well. But it's so many, they're doing well, but then they forget the media and the PR and the marketing, and it just goes down the toilet. And the reason is because they see that only for Fortune 500 companies. Only for Fortune 1000, Fortune 100, the juggernaut companies. Oh, that's for them. As Karen said very eloquently, you are a brand. You are a brand. So people need to know your brand. And the only way they know your brand is if you get that visibility, as she stated, podcast, radio, TV, talk show, whatever. And then to take it another level, reputable. Right? Because in this season, and I tell some of my queens that I'm not knocking anybody that's hosting something and doing something. I think it's beautiful, and I know people got to eat and they thinking creatively, and I love it. Vet your stuff. Is it reputable? Is the person that you're doing business with reputable, or did you just do another activity that sounds cute? It was a cute activity. Didn't make no money, didn't gain no followers, which should be converting into paying customers, right? I don't care anything about followers, with the exception of them being able to convert. And of course, my sisters, queens in Christ, I love my queens, that's just who I am. But when it comes from a business standpoint, I don't care if I got 50 billion, are they converting? Are they purchasing my book? Are they joining my speaker program? If they not, then honey, you're doing cute activities. Okay, so we're not doing activities. This is called Girl on Fire because we want you to be on fire in your professional life if you're still in the corporate field, but also in your business as well. So good. Love that, love that, love that. So y'all know I ain't forgot about my queens over here. Okay, so I'm going to bounce over here very quickly. So tell me, queen, either one of my queens, Palmer, Dr. Blackmon, either or. So you are busy, right? Busy. Talk to my queens about this work-life balance. One, does it exist? And two, if it does, what does that look like for you? How do you stay rooted or grounded? What are your non-negotiables to making sure you keep your peace and your sanity and still showing the people that are in your immediate circle, whether that's a spouse or a significant other, that you still love them? Because I will say, sometimes I'm still working on that. I'm guilty as charged. Come and get me. Come lock me up. I'm guilty sometimes from negating the level of self-care that I need because I am so driven and just laser focused sometimes, which is a great thing, but it can be a negative thing. So I'm looking to learn in this season, and I'm okay with that. So share with me how you create that balance. Is there a balance, and what are some of your non-negotiables that you want to share with the women? So either one of you can answer that for me, queens.
I would say for me, that balance has also been very tough for me to find. But one of the ways that I'm able to do it, even say with my children, because I devote so much time to building and researching and what have you, but I try to include them in parts that I may be doing so they don't feel as if they are separate from it. And sometimes also, you have to take a break or shut down. Designate time for you to go get your nails done. Designate time for you to get your hair done, or just to have your quiet time to read a book or what have you, because we can become so entrenched in our businesses that we lose focus of us. So self-care is very important. For me, what I love to do during my self-care time, if I want to watch a movie, I do that. If I want to just go on a spa day or what have you, or not so much now because of COVID, but hey, I have me a petty tub at home and I do my thing. You know, but you just have to set aside that time for your quietness and your peace so you can preserve your energy and to build up the energy in order to give to anybody else. Because if you're burnt out, just like a circuit, if there's a circuit that is overloaded, it will burn out. And if you're burnt out, you have no power to give anybody else. You have no empowerment for anyone because you yourself are depleted. So just finding that balance, and sometimes that means saying no or scheduling time. Okay, scheduling time. Well, my hours, even though you may not be working a 9 to 5, you can make your business hours 9 to 5, and after that, deal with it tomorrow. Because if you just work, always communicating and doing appointments, when do you plan out your marketing? When do you plan out even your meals with your family? When do you have time to plan if you're steady just going? So it's important to prioritize what is important, what must be done now, and how can you balance that thing. That's the key to finding that balance. You just have to be willing to make a priority list and say no and stick to it. Stick to it. And your customers will definitely, or your clients will definitely respect you for that. You know, that's pretty much it. You've got to be able to find that balance.
No, you're absolutely right, Queen. You really hit the head. You know, sometimes I say this because, you know, to some, and I mean this in the blessed way, to some other women who may not just naturally, and that's okay if that's you, Queen, and you're watching this. Nobody's better than the other. I just know many times when, or at least the type of women that I typically do business with or have in my circle, they are just crazy, top-notch girl bosses, girls on fire, right? And that can be an area of opportunity for us. I know not just for me, okay, but for other people as well. And I love that. Dr. Tonya, let's get your take, because I know you've shared this before on other platforms we've had. Give us your take on how you balance that.
Oh, well, one of the things that I've done is I've always researched successful people, like people that have gotten like these great prophecies from God. And then what I did is I went and I said, okay, what did they do? And there were several things I learned from each one of those people. Number one, they woke up every day and they prayed. That's key. They prayed, they had times of fasting, and they also exercised. No matter what, this is what these different people did. So for me, what I do is I live my calendar. I live my calendar. And then as a business owner, as a boss, we choose whatever we want to do. So my calendar may say, you know, from 6 to 9, eat breakfast, exercise, pray, and then 9:30 start work, and then speak to customers for a couple hours, and then the rest of the day do all the admin work I need to do, then meet with my team, and then that's the end of my day. And that's pretty much how I do it. I live my calendar. And another thing that I do is I actually put times in there for to be with my husband. I've been married for 27 years. And you're not going to stay married if you ignore your spouse. You will not stay married, number one. And so that's another thing that I do. So I live my calendar. I live my calendar. And I do believe that you can. Some people say you can't have it all. I do believe that you can have it all. The thing about it is that God has given us the ability to create wealth. And wealth is not just financial, you know. We can be wealthy in our minds, wealthy in our bodies, wealthy in our spirit. So on purpose, I live that lifestyle where I just, you know, where I create the lifestyle that I really wanted to live. And I'm having an awesome time, even during COVID-19,
Love it, Queen. That's so good. You know, if it's not in your calendar, we used to say that in the corporate world, if it ain't on my calendar, Honey, it didn't happen. If it's not in writing, it didn't happen. So half the stuff didn't happen because, it wasn't on my, So it's the same thing for us in getting that time for ourselves so that we can be better and make an impact. Because this is all about, I know we're talking coin, I know we're talking bag and securing a bag, but at the end of the day, the women that you see here, they want to make an impact. And, and it's okay to be a hometown hero, but when God has positioned you for greater, there are some folks he has called to be the hometown hero, and there's nothing wrong with that. Again, the word lets us know one man might have one talent, one might have two, one might have 5, 10, whatever, right? But if you know he's called you to greater, then I have a problem with you being a hometown hero when he's called you to be international, when he's called you to reach the nations with your gift, whether that's your book, your voice, your business, your financial, the fertility, whatever it is. If he's called you to global, right? And if you're here, I have a funny feeling he's called you to global, because otherwise this wouldn't even appease to you. You would say, girl on fire, I don't want to do that. If you're watching this, then that's probably you. So take confirmation, hello. So go ahead and take that nugget and take that tip. And I need you to soar, because these women want to get you in the game. So now I really want to drill down with the time that we have into their individual niche businesses. And so I'm just going to pop to whomever. So just come off of mute when you get the chance. So we'll go ahead. I'll come back to you, Dr. Tonya. You help grants. Folks know a lot of stuff about business, even coaches and speakers and girl bosses, which I deal a lot with. And I know, Kearn, you do too as well. But grants, getting real grant money, because you deal with folks, not just corporate, but government. So that's that real deal. Holyfield is what we call that, where you get millions with some M's on it, some M's in the bank. Okay. So talk to the queens about how important it is to find out what they qualify for. How can they get in the game? Where do they even start? Other than calling you, which they gonna do, and we're gonna give them a chance to get your information. But other than calling you, what can they do to even say, what can I get? What's accessible to me? Are there any tools, or what's that protocol for you?
Okay, so a lot of people think you have to be a business owner in order to actually get a grant, but that's not true. You can be just a regular self-employed person, or you could be not a self-employed, you could be a regular person that has a job, or you can also be a business owner, because grants are giving at the local, state, and federal levels. So but I recommend, if you want the $1 million grants, you want to go ahead and either start a nonprofit or start a for-profit, could be LLC, what have you. Start that for sure. And then you will go through the whole system. You have to go through the SAM system and do all the paperwork. So what my team does is we take everybody through that entire process, of course, from the beginning into the end. And it's a whole lot of red tape. It's a whole lot of paperwork. But guess what? People are doing it. As a matter of fact, a gentleman, a 17-year-old during this crisis, this COVID-19 crisis, actually received a $1 million grant during the crisis. So it's not hard to do. It's just a whole lot of paperwork. You get in the system, you become a vendor for the government, and then you just do your paperwork. You just follow the guidelines, and then you fast and you pray and you ask God to put favor on your name. That's really what's important. That's really what's important. So it may take some people 1 month, it may take some people years to get it, but guess what? You'll never get any if you never apply for any of them, right? And that's what I tell my clients, do not give up. So that's basically what it is. You just become a government vendor as a self-employed person or as an individual, and you could apply for grants at your state level, apply for grants at your local level, or if you want to level up and start getting $1 million grants, that collaboration is very important with that. Because most of the times grants are given, those type of grants are often given with people who work together as a team.
That's good, Queen. See, I mean, I'm picking up clues right here. I knew it was there, but I know you become a vendor. See, I'll reach out to you. See, we have $1 million on the second.
Yes.
No.
Yes.
Come on.
There's one other thing I want to share is that this is a true story. I believe everybody should continue to like practice their craft and learn more and more and more. So I still take grant writing courses and what have you, but I took a course earlier this year, and there was a florist that had received over $300,000 this year in grants, and she was a florist. So some people think that you have to be like in a certain career field in order for you to be able to put in for grants. No, I beg to differ. Churches can get grants too. Everybody can. So you don't have to be in that career field to actually be able to get it. You just have to be able to provide that product and provide that service. And guess what? You don't have to provide the service. You could hire someone else to do the work for you. So sister, no more excuses. Come on, you can do it. Get on fire. Whatever gifting God has given you, pull it all out. Whatever you have interest in, go ahead and just do it. Now is the time to do it. Now is the time to do it. Dr. Lavella said that the world is our map. The world is our map, and I believe that.
Love that, Queen. That's so good. And they're definitely going to get your information. I appreciate that. Y'all better, I'm telling you, okay, that's my little, queen. Okay, my little scepter for you. Listen, but love that, Queen. I appreciate that information. So kind of bouncing in a little bit, we're going to switch gears. So Miss Jones, let's talk about your field, right? Because you deal with something near and dear to folks' hearts, especially dealing with the fertility. Because let's just be real. Over the years, if you look back from the last, I haven't Googled this, and I'm sure we can, but it would be fair to say over the last 10 to 20 years, as women have become more and more independent, more and more educated, more and more diverse, we're the fastest growing in business and all of these beautiful things, they've been waiting to have children. Now, I know I got my kids, honey. That's it. That's a wrap. I don't need no more. I love them. They're little blessings from Jesus. I love them. Stay right there. Okay? But there are some that have waited, right? And then they get to this place and now they're excited. They feel like they're in position. Maybe they're married or maybe they're not. I'm not knocking you for, I'm not here to judge. But whatever your situation is, they've waited. They've done the career thing, but girl boss, moving and shaking. Now they want to have the child and they go in for that checkup and it's not adding it up for them to be able to have that child. So talk to me in that relevancy of what you do, how you're able to communicate, or how would you communicate with that woman who says, now I'm ready, I've achieved these things, I don't want to say notches on my belt, but I've achieved great success. Now I want to complete my family, but now I'm struggling with that. One, how do you encourage them through your story? And then two, any light you can shed on a woman as she's making those decisions of, really life decisions as to what she should do next as a girl boss and having a family, if that makes sense.
Yes, it totally makes sense. There are so many women, as you've already stated, that they put career first, and there's nothing wrong with that. A lot of us do that. And so the focus is so prevalent upon trying to obtain certain things in life, certain statuses. And now that I have obtained that status, and I'm speaking as them, now that I've obtained that status, yes, I want to begin to build my family. Now I found out that there's something going on in my body that's not allowing me to do it. The first thing is to try to find out what's causing the issue. I've worked with clients who they've had problems conceiving and they automatically assume that they're having infertility issues, never been diagnosed with infertility. So that's one of the first questions I ask them, have you ever been diagnosed? Well, no, I haven't. Well, now you're blocking yourself mentally because it's not happening as quickly as you think it should. We own our body, but we cannot control what happens with our body on a timeline. So one of the first things I always ask them to do, go ahead and get checked out. Find out. Don't assume that there's something wrong with your body without knowing if it is. So let's go and get a checkup. Find out. Bite the bullet, look the bear in the face, go find out. And once you find out, don't just take for granted the information that the doctor gives you. Research it on your own. Get to understand what the information he's saying. So let's say, as an example, a person goes and they get the diagnosis of endometriosis. That was my diagnosis. But they don't understand what endometriosis is. And they're not trying to understand. They're just going by what the doctors say. And there's nothing wrong with that, but educate yourself. Understand what causes endometriosis. What can we do on a personal level regarding that diagnosis? Is it something that we're putting in our bodies that's causing it? Is it something that we're taking orally that's causing it? What can we do to make sure we can fix it? But let's say as you're going through infertility, you realize that there's a part of your body that's just not functioning as it should. A lot of women and men, they begin to beat themselves up. And they began to call themselves damaged goods. I'm talking about what I did to myself. Began to call themselves damaged good. I'm not worthy. I must have done some big sin before God, and now he's punishing me. Tormenting yourself, which is actually adding fuel to the fire to prevent you from being able to conceive, because you have so much weight and stress upon yourself. Get to the point where you get a support system. Don't do like I did. I hid it. I kept everything within. People knew that I was having problems conceiving, but they didn't know what I was dealing with mentally, emotionally, because I was trying to be so strong. See, I'm the type of person that I'm always helping other people. I'm always encouraging other people. And so I thought to myself, how can I encourage others if they know I'm going through something? I don't want them thinking that they'll burden me down. So now I'm taking everything and I'm keeping it within myself. I didn't share. And my husband didn't even know some of the things that I was dealing with, because I just didn't tell him. I wanted to be strong for everybody else, but I wasn't being strong for me. Find a support system. Don't hold it in, because it's going to keep you burdened down. Have conversations with your doctor. My doctor in the past gave me pamphlets, and it had all these things that I read that I didn't understand. But I didn't try to understand, because my head was so down. I was so caught up. There are things that I could have done back then, I believe, mentally, that would have released the ability to conceive. But I told myself I was barren. I told myself I could not. And do you not know that thoughts and words are powerful, and what you begin to speak out of your mouth will begin to manifest in your life? I was never able to conceive. Never. Because I told myself I was damaged goods. I told myself I'd done something to deserve it. I told myself that I didn't treat people in my life the right way, even though I did nobody wrong. But you have to find some reason to rationalize why this is happening. So don't do that. Now, if a person wants to wait further in life before they have children, I have heard fertility specialists recommend go and have your eggs frozen. If you have your eggs frozen, and then at some point in time you decide that you want to have children, you already have those eggs set aside. Because the older we get, our egg reserve will begin to diminish. Not only was I diagnosed with endometriosis, I was also diagnosed with low egg reserve and low quality eggs. I did not know what was going on with my body. I was dealing with so much pain when I was in college. I thought that was a normal part of the cycle. Learn your bodies. Understand what's going on, and don't take anything for granted. Educate yourself. Talk to somebody, because I believe that if you begin to share, somebody's going to raise up and say, oh yeah, I dealt with this. Don't do what I did. Another thing is you're finding women who are being diagnosed with cancer. And so what they will also do is, before going under treatments, they also have their eggs reserved frozen, so that when they come out of treatment and they become whole again, their eggs are not damaged because of the toxic treatments that they're going through. So there's things that you can do. So if you know that you want to put your family building in the future, talk to a specialist, and they will give you advice on the best way. So when you're ready, you can go back and pick up what you have dropped off in the refrigerator, so to speak, and then you can go back and be prepared. But the biggest thing that I would like to tell people is, if you are finding out that you have been diagnosed with infertility, do not torment yourself. I'm actually writing a book right now. It's going to be released March the 25th, 2021. The title of the book is Overcoming the Emotional Stigmas of Infertility, Barren but Not Ashamed. Women, why are we ashamed? Because a part of our body is not working as it should. If you are dealing with high blood pressure, are you ashamed of that because you have to take blood pressure medicine? If you're dealing with high cholesterol, are you ashamed of that? Because it's the same thing. It's a part of your body not operating as it should. So why should we be ashamed? Because our reproductive system is not operating. It's just a part of the body that may be broken, that can be fixed. But there's no reason to be ashamed. Shame, in my mind, is a cursed spirit. Embarrassment is a cursed spirit. In my book, I went back in biblical days because I wanted to know, where did this come from? Where does this shame come from? Where does this embarrassment come from? And why is this spirit still existing today? Now, I'm talking about the spirit of embarrassment and shame, and why we feel like we can't hold our heads up and be in society with the rest of the women who are able to have children. Why we have to hide? Why don't we want to be a part of baby showers? I share in my book that when you are invited to baby showers, you are actually attracting what you have been asking for. And I use an example of a Ford F-150 truck. Let's say you make a decision you want to buy one. Never notice the F-150 on the street until you decide to either get one or you have bought one. Everywhere you look, you see them. Well, that's life telling you, you have attracted this. So when you're being invited to baby showers, you're actually being attracted to what you want. But because your mind is so consumed that thinking that I'm being tormented, I'm being shown something I can't have, you repel it. No, embrace it. Say that this is what I want, and I'm now starting to see it. I had a client, I told her this. And she went through some of the sessions and she went through the exercises that I gave her. And now she has a child. First thing I told her, don't tell yourself that you are dealing with infertility unless you know that you are. And once you know what you are and what you have to deal with, let's get a game plan together. But don't sit in the dark and weep your eyes out. I've done that. It's not going to help a situation at all. But if you come into the light and you open up and you begin to tell people, not that you got to put your business on Front Street, get with those you can trust and let them help you through the process. And one final thing before I close, when you are dealing with the inability to conceive, recognize that that is not the end. It's only the beginning. And hurting hearts can be healed. If you want to be healed, you can be. There are millions of people who are dealing with infertility. And I don't know if this studio audience understand that male factor infertility affects at least 30 to 50% of couples who are trying to conceive. So it's not just about the women, it's the men as well. And we want to build our brothers up. We want to let our brothers know that just because there's problems in your life does not mean your wife disrespects you, does not mean you're less of a man. It just means that there's an issue that needs to be resolved. And some people make the decision not to have children. They want to be child-free, and that's okay. What I want my audience, especially those who read my book, to understand is not just about those dealing with infertility. It's about the families of the people who deal with infertility. It's about the co-workers and the friends and the neighbors, because sometimes they can be insensitive. They just say, oh, well, you can't have a child, just go adopt. But that's not the answer for everything. It was my answer. But some people, it's insensitive to them because you're brushing their feelings aside. Just go adopt. Like it doesn't matter that part to nurture and to carry a child does not still exist within that person's heart. Yes, it does. And it's a battle that they carry with every day. And one last thing I want to ask, because see, my book is to help those overcome the emotions, but it's to bring awareness to those who were not unfortunate, let me use that word, to deal with infertility, to have compassion. I've had clients to tell me that they were in stores and family members like, you've been married 2 years. When you gonna have that baby? Not knowing that they've been going through and injecting medicines in their bodies, trying to have a child, weeping, but because they don't understand what it means, they can be insensitive. I share love and hope and encouragement. I've been married. I celebrated, my husband and I celebrated our 22nd anniversary yesterday. I have a daughter that I never called step. My husband, when he and I got married, he had full custody of his daughter. She was 4 years old at the time. I became an instant mom. But do you not know that I dealt with heartaches, even being a quote unquote second mom, because my adopted daughter, or my stepdaughter, I hate that word, but that's my daughter, she began to reject me because she wanted to be with her birth mom. So now here it was, I could not conceive. The child that loved me, now don't get me wrong, she loved me, but she was caught in between. She trying to please everybody. And so here it is, this daughter that I love dearly is rejecting me. Not wanting to, but just didn't know how. So for stepmoms that's dealing with infertility, I understand your hurt and I understand your pain. But I also understand that as long as you live in the hurt and the pain, you will continue to dwell there. If you're going to be in the valley, don't pitch your tent there. Don't make that your home. I can help you move out. Matter of fact, if you give me your address, 101 Valley Lane, I will come help you pack your stuff and move out. I love you, but you have to love yourself.
So good, Queen. You hit so many nuggets, and I want to be transparent in this moment, right? I know some queens may be watching this and say, well, I'm not dealing with infertility, right? I get that, but many of the lessons, the nuggets that you drop, you can apply, whether it's infertility or anything else that the world tries to put over you, especially as women. We get put in a box, y'all. This is what you're supposed to do. It's like this. Oh, okay, you're a girl. Okay, you need to be married. You need to get pregnant. You need to be boop, and that's your life, and you're in a box. And as girls on fire, as girl bosses, women who are moving and shaking, Christ is our foundation, but we know we're created to greater. It's important that we not get stuck in a box. And in the case that you're explaining is, people will, and I've heard people do that. Well, you ain't got no kids. You ain't got no. That's her choice. There are sacrifices in this life that we make, right? And decisions and prioritization that we make, especially if you've got certain dreams or goals or whatever the case may be. It's to each its own. But I love that you bring up the respect piece, right? That audience members can have towards each other as sisters in Christ, right? That let's make sure we're not treating each other the way that we're hoping the world doesn't treat us. That's one. A couple of nuggets I took down from what you said. Bottom line is, just know your body, and health is your wealth. So I really want to weave the golden thread back into being a girl on fire and even being an entrepreneur or in your career. Your health is your wealth. I think I saw Susan, what's her name? Oh, like a gazillionaire. No, Susie, help me, Lord. Orman. Yes, that's her. I think she had got sick a few years back, and she was talking about how she had to change her mantra. She said, you know what, she didn't have health as her wealth in that, or as the priority first. And then after she got sick, and praise God, she was able to overcome the situation. She said, I added that because it's true. Health is your wealth. So I don't care how on fire you are, honey, you be on fire, gasoline, and just burn out. Okay, the burnout because you're not taking care of your health, you're not taking care on the inside, you don't know what's going on. Doctor give you a pamphlet, as Francis just stated, and I don't know it, so I don't want to go any further. We don't take any responsibility in that. So make sure you take that it's important. Your health is your wealth. And legacy. I took from you the word legacy in my mind. You are building a legacy, and your legacy, immediately people think about the little people that came out of their body. And that's great, and that's a good start. But your legacy is way huger, larger than the little people that came out of your body. Okay, they might start there, but it's bigger than that. Your legacy is this right here. Your legacy are the queens and the men, right? If you're your niche field are men as well. Whoever you're designed to touch to make an impact here on this earth while you're here, that's a part of your legacy, queen. So whether it's a book, a business, or whatever, that's your legacy. If you're still working a 9-to-5, there's nothing wrong with that. Many of us have done that for many years, and some of us still do, and there's nothing wrong with that. But while you're there, that's your ministry. You know, even though I had plans, I knew I was leaving. I was like, I'm out of here. In my mind, I was working my little plan. I'm going to be up out of here, honey. I was working the plan, honey, like a part-time, full-time job. But while I was there, these people are my ministry. Even her in the corner, she my ministry. And the Lord had to work with my heart to work with her, but I still did it because he'll take your obedience over your sacrifice. You understand what I'm saying? So I just want you to be encouraged in this season. Again, I just want to weave that golden thread. She gave some amazing nuggets, and you're going to get her information. If that's you, battling between girl boss, girl on fire, and having that family that you always dreamed of. But then from a concept of your health is your wealth, and understanding that you build legacy, not just the physical children that you birth, but whether it be stepchildren, adopted children. You know, you'll hear the mother of the church, all them kids ain't her kids, but she mama. She ain't have you. Now you know, now see, I know everyone is from somewhere different. I know we've got women that be watching this internationally, etc. I'm from the South, so let me say this. And my mom used to say, if you feed them long enough, hello, somebody, feed them long enough. That little kid, you be like, now whose kid is this? They over here eating all the time, chicken and everything else. He look like y'all now. Okay, because he is y'all. So I'm sorry. For those who didn't understand that, just find me and I'll explain it, but I just want to give that. So thank you so much, Francis. I appreciate that so much. So good. And it's obvious you are passionate about your calling. When you talked about your why, I can see why, no pun intended, your why resonates with you, and it's obvious as to how you're able to bless other people. So I love that. So my queen, Miss Palmer over here with these finances, getting in the game. I feel like at least the women that I have, not all of the women, but I feel like it's crazy. They in business and they understand they got to have, you know, money. And you'll hear some folks say that I want to make sure I got it right, that your business, the finances, the cash flow, the cash flow in your business is the bloodline to your business. It's the heartbeat, gurus, you know, heartbeat to your business. And that's true. Why is it, Queen, that people come to you, not last, because your business is scaling and growing, but I feel like some entrepreneurs, they don't feel like they need to get that whole subset together, whether it be their bookkeeping and going deeper with their finances outside of their taxes. How can you encourage them? One, do you see that as to where it's like, okay, why are you looking at me as an afterthought? Like, I need to be like one of the first people you see. You understand? You over here trying to make a cute website. You over here trying to get your Instagram followers up, but your money looking super funny. So why is it you feel folks may come to you in the large, and I say you, I mean financial institutions such as yours, why do you think they come to that last? What's the fear or the phobia of really finding out about my money, right? Know your book of business is what we used to say in the corporate world. And then how do you get them to shift that mindset so that they can soar and be financially free?
I believe it's simply because one of the reasons being that a lot of entrepreneurs are doing things on their own, and we're girls, we've got it. Like I can do this, I can do that, or whatever, and you just don't want to let go of certain things, and you feel more comfortable maybe of doing it yourself, not realizing that what you're doing is good, but it can be greater. So, but I think one of the reasons why they come, another reason why they come last is simply because they don't know what else to come for. So in order to change that mindset, that mindset is only given with education or nuggets that are being dropped that they pick up, like, oh, I didn't think about that. Yeah, or I think that's just one of the things, you just don't think about it and you think you got it all together already. So why do I need to talk to you?
So I'm gonna ask you, so how do you get them to shift that? So if they come in your door, let's just say, okay, at a minimum, hopefully. Now, Hopefully, at a minimum, they come in, you get the taxes done. At least get your business taxes done. Stop playing. Don't have that man, and by that man, I mean Uncle Sam, running up and closing your shop. Get legit, okay? So walk away with that, Queen. And I'm sure if you're watching this, you're already super legit. That's why you're a girl on fire, and you're just making boss moves. But just in case, okay? All right, go ahead. I'm sorry, I just had to stick a pin on that. But how do you get them to shift? They come in for at least to do their taxes. How do you then elevate their brain so they can have a level up moment that this can be a global impact? This could be a whole nother level if I pick up these tools, tips, systems, etc. How do you get them to level up?
One of the things that we don't think about, I find a lot of entrepreneurs do not think about, is the marketing behind the business in order to just take you further and to help you be present online and offline. Some of those things can be costly. Let's just be honest. But giving them the availability of funds in order to make that happen by way of business credit or unsecured loans, and helping them to plugging them into those sources that is going to help bring their business, bring them more awareness, whether it be PR, whether it be the marketing on radio or what have you. Giving them the funds, giving them access to the funds, especially for those that are just starting. Queen, you'd be surprised in the financial realm, in the financial field, it can be a lot more difficult for queens to access funds when you're first starting out, because the lending institutions want to see your book of business, they want to see the progress, they want to see the profits already. Some may require that you're making already $10,000 a month. And if you're just starting out, you may not be there. Okay, let's keep it real. So that is one of the reasons why we use unsecured lending, where it's based upon you. Okay, and it's not based upon necessarily your business, but you're going to pour those funds into marketing your business or getting your business set up properly, or wherever you are. We meet you where you are to take you to that next level. Just giving opportunity. I remember when I started out, I had no idea, and I was paying a lot of money, out of pocket, and it was a challenge to do. Quite frankly, had I known that though I had a business plan, I wasn't in business long enough in order to get funding from banks or financial institutions, what have you. Had I known about the unsecured lending space, or had I known about business credit then, I could have saved a lot of money out of pocket, up front. Okay? So when I did it as a sacrifice, and thank God I did. But there was a way in order to definitely do that differently. And now that I know, that's what I help others to do. Just to empower them so you don't have to go broke while trying to build your business. It kind of defeats the purpose, right? And it brings you stress as well. And you get a little crazy with you're probably still working while you're building your business, and you broke. That don't add up. That doesn't add up. So giving queens a way in order to access the funds, to take it off the ground while you're still getting started, or if you spent a lot of money already and you're years in, doing it differently so you can keep more money in your pocket, that's what I do. It's a matter of educating them. Somebody has to tell you.
Queen, that's like the head on hitting the nail on the head. I'm gonna say this and I'm gonna move to you, Kearn, but I remember I was talking to a queen maybe about a month or so ago, and I said, from an employee, and again, we're not knocking employees. Guess what? Some people don't understand. My employee was my number one banking institution. My employer was my number one banking institution, honey. They didn't know they were an angel. What do they call them? An angel Lord, one of the angels giving me money for my business. They were funneling the money, honey. You can call it whatever you want, but they were my number one investor. They didn't even know it. Okay. But from an employee standpoint, I remember, in just knowing my background, growing up from humble beginnings, meaning AKA we grew up, you know, my family, they loved the Lord, but we were poor. I mean, we didn't have money like that. We lived in the hood, we lived in the projects, and we had the food stamps. And some folks may not know what that is, and that's okay. I mean, it didn't make me, it didn't break me, it didn't take anything away from me, because my mother always let me know that I was going to be somebody. And she always let me know that the world is my oyster and I can have anything that I put my mind to as long as Christ is at the foundation. So I took that and I ran with it and I soar, right? And so I teach my children the same thing, my husband and I. But getting to that point, so when I got into the corporate field, look, and just being honest, and I know different women are going to be watching this, but as an African-American woman getting into the corporate field, finally making some decent income by the time I was 20, making more than my mom and my dad together, you know, you come into some money. Oh boy, ball out, right? So that means you're just spending money frivolously, not having that education, as the Queen spoke about. You getting, oh, you want a credit card? Of course. Me? You know, so of course. So you can quickly get into trouble. But I say that to say, I thought it was almost a badge of honor when I could just pay things out as an employee. Oh, furniture? Oh, honey, I ain't doing. Buy car, oh honey, it's paid for. So I thought that was, oh, I'm fancy, right? But in business, you learn that the benefit of leveraging other people's money. See, so it's a shift that you have to make in your mind. So I had to go from, oh no, let me just pay it all out, I'm good. Now I'm broke. So what can you leverage? How can you build? What can you do? And you know, I know we've seen these quotes, honey, yeah, I know I might be broke, but all my bills paid. Honey, we done seen those types of posts on Facebook in the groups, honey, yes, but that's really not anything to still smile about, because if you're doing it right, you're able to leverage other people's money. You take any Fortune top 10 company, which I worked for a Fortune top 9 organization, only 8 other companies in the world made more money than the company I worked for almost 15 years. And guess what? No matter how many billions with a B they had in their bank account, they still leverage credit. They still leverage money. And you would say, that's counterintuitive. Why would they leverage money when they got it in the bank? Because if I can take your money, whatever that is, and then use that so that I can grow and scale, you understand what I'm saying? And as long as I pay you back before that interest hit, hello, voila, magic. And so there's an art to that. So if you're hearing me and you may be saying, well, what is Minister Nakita Davis saying? Then I want you to get in contact with these queens. I mean, sure, you can reach out to me, but I am okay with saying that I'm not the expert in that. That's not my genius zone. I know about it and I've been able to leverage that, but there are queens on here in the financial sector that can definitely get you in the game, because I want you to think smart. It's strategy. Strategy is everything. And if you don't have the strategy, I don't care how hard you're running, you like the little engine that could, and it's taking you forever to get to where God wants you to be, because you don't have the right strategy in place. You don't have the right networking systems in place. And so it takes you forever to get there when you've got people around you that can link arms and lock arms with you to get you to the next level. So love that, Queen. That's so, so good. So let's roll. Excuse me. I apologize. Kearn, thank you, Queen. So talk to me about, because you definitely deal with speakers, authors, girl bosses. You're in the book field. We have many things that are similar as well. And I love that. You see how we have collaboration. There's no competition. This is what you do. Some folks get afraid and they're scared and, oh, but what if? Guess what? If they want to rock with her, that's good. Guess what? There may be people that want to rock with me. It's okay. Let me tell you just a little secret, and I'm going to be quiet. There's no shortage of money. There's no shortage of money. There is no shortage. I don't care. It's not missing. I know they want to make the reserve and this, honey, let me tell you something. There's no shortage of you getting to the bank, period. I don't care if y'all do the same thing. Go ask the makers of Sara Lee. I told the other queens this. When you go down that bread aisle, you think Sara Lee saw, oh, Nature's Own, they got bread. Okay, well, y'all pack up our wheat, pack up the oats. No, we can't do that. They got Nature's Own back there. No. They still made it, and so did Sunny Bunny and all these other bread makers, and this one with no GMO, and this one is made out of noodles. Like all these different types of bread available. People like different bread. Be a different piece of bread. It's okay. So speaking on that, Queen, with what you do, talk to me about some of the fundamental steps. So if a queen is watching this and she wants to be a speaker, she knows she's got a voice, she knows she has a gift, she's been through some things and she wants to share it, she doesn't know how. What are some of the things you would first tell her to cultivating that so that she can step on stages, she can step on maybe one day success with 17, almost 20,000 folk, and be in there with Les Brown and all these other amazing people, Dr. Sherwood, just all, look, Google these people, okay, they're amazing. But tell me, what would be some of the first steps? She says, I know I want to do it, I'm not ready. What are some of the steps you teach your queens to get prepared in this season?
So the first thing I'm going to say is, the time to do anything is now. So that's number one. Stop procrastinating. Stop waiting. I love the way men function, because men, they do that Nike thing. Just do it. You know, they just do. They jump out. They jump out. Sometimes feet first, sometimes with a plan, sometimes not. But you know, everybody has a voice. Everybody has stories, right? Speaking is about sharing your story. When a great speaker speaks from things they've gone through and then take that and leverage it with their experience to teach you something that they're gifted at, right? That they're gifted to talk about. So the first thing I want to tell people to do, so I did an article, I think in Speakers Magazine, shout out to Pam Perry. So that being said, I listed a few things that you always will need as a speaker. I don't care how good you are, and I don't care what your name is. You will always need, number one, probably everybody needs to note this. Number one, you need a good headshot. Hello. Look, y'all, don't send those little camera shots. I bought the i11, you know, whatever, Apple. I don't care what kind of phone you got, okay? It's time to spend some money. And if you're really smart, you're going to really spend some money. You're going to find a good photographer. You're going to look, search, and find a really good photographer that can really bring out who you are in a picture. Because trust me, a picture lives forever, right? So invest. And I'm not, look, initially, you can go to any great local photographer and get your picture. But when you get ready to level up, you can go to my page, you can see my pictures. That is that's somebody who's walking in her gift, right? So I'm gonna say that's number one. Number two, have your bio. Yeah, hello, how many people don't have one? And it don't have to be all fancied out as a resume, but it needs to be clear. It needs to say certain things about who you are, what you're doing. It doesn't have to be long. Hey, I'm not Les Brown, so mine ain't that extensive, but you know, the point is, have a good bio that speaks straight to who you are. Know your 3 top speaking points. It's number 3. Know what you're good at speaking on. Know this. You need to know. I mean, get some clarity. Sit down. Write down what I speak on really well. If you just starting and you never got on the stage before, start with one. You know, Cheryl Wood says it all the time. She said, when I first started, and she chuckles about it, she said, I talked about the same thing for years, not for months, for years, right? I can tell you right now, I've heard Lisa Nichols, I've heard Dr. George C. Frazier, you know, and Mamie Boy Les Brown. And I can tell you right now, most of them people have the same subject. Sometimes it never changes. Sometimes they just tweak it a little bit and it come out a little different. And you just as intrigued as if you heard it 10 years ago, right? So get your subject line, get that ready. Now, the other thing is speaker one sheet. So the speaker one sheet is really good to have. And I know some of y'all like, I ain't got no money. I can't afford to get no. Yes, you can. Most good graphic people have the ability to put your speaker one sheet together. Get you a good speaker one sheet. It'll substitute for, you know, even your bio. But a good speaker one sheet is going to have a lot of these things already in it. Number 5. Look, last year I went through 400, over 400, count them, 400 speakers, okay? 400. Do you know how hard that is to do when people are sending stuff in? I'm like, I don't know who this person is. Who is she? Oh, you told me this, that, and that. Well, you know what? The one thing I've learned about anybody, you can say that you're anybody, and I'm supposed to believe that, right? But when you give me a little taste of who you are, I can hear your voice. I can hear where you present. It doesn't have to be long, 2 to 3 minutes. 2 to 3 minutes will speak to that conference director. You know, people like us sitting here right here. You will need to submit something to us sometimes, not always, but it's really good when they're getting in 50 to 100 things. So I'm telling you, ladies and gentlemen, get you a little small, not the speaker reel, the traditional one, because I'm going to remind you, some people, if you're going to do a speaker reel, do it right. At least have yourself speaking in the reel. So many people sit in a speaker reel, and I got all these videos and somebody else's voice is talking, and I ain't heard your voice not one time. That's not a real speaker reel. So take your time and do that. Also, this is your investment, the website. So eventually you're gonna have to pony up. You're gonna have to bite the bullet, get you that your own, not your business, okay? Your business that's totally separate. You know, like I have my home care business. Yeah, that doesn't really tell people who I am. That tells them a piece of who I am. That when you go to CoachKearn.com, now you can see who I am. You know what I speak about, all those things. You see my video, all those things are there. You need to invest in a website. Do not get Johnny, Sam, Susie, your cousin, who said, girl, you know, I know how to do a website. No, you don't need those people. Hello, look, you're gonna look stupid. Trust me, been there, done that. You need to invest some money in a really decent, preferably awesome, but at least a decent website. Because I'm telling you, if you think we're not gonna look, guess what? We're gonna look. We gonna look. God told me last year, look at everybody. So I ain't want to do it, but he was like, you gonna do it because we need to weed out some people. And sure enough, that was the reason why he was telling me to do this. But that being said, I also looked at some other people, and look, you'd be surprised. There are many big conferences, such as Success Women's Conference. We're looking to help people build their stage too. So we're not always looking for just the elite of the elite and the keynotes and the features, people that are speaking nationally all the time. We're also looking for other people who are coming up, you know, and giving them opportunity. I've given many people, I have 4 conferences coming up next year. I've given many people an opportunity to get on the stage. And don't be afraid to get on a panel. Look, it's okay. Sometimes you start small. Look, you still say, I'm part of Success Women's Conference. So don't be afraid and ask. That's the other thing. No is a long way to yes. I applied. Shoot, look, how many of us have applied for TED Talks and all these other, I know a few conferences that I can think of right now that I have just not even heard from. Silence, right? I'm like, okay, I'm going back in again. Silence, all right, okay, well, I'm gonna keep going. I'm gonna keep going till I hit that stage. Some way, somehow, if I gotta try a back door, I'm gonna call some people and see if they can help me get on that stage. Do they know somebody? It's okay, but you gotta get started. I said 2021, I truly believe is the year of the speaker, whether you are an expiring speaker or you're a current speaker or you are all the way at the top. It is time to take advantage of this opportunity. The world that we live in has changed. And let me tell y'all something. Virtual ain't going nowhere. Did I not just say I had 17,000 people last month? Hello, you think I'm going to give up? Who's going to give up that? So you better know there are many conferences that are changing how they do things. Yeah, they'll probably do hybrids because we love the in-person experience as well, but you can't give up the fact that you can touch somebody over in the Philippines, over in London, over in Africa. These are people we may never meet in person, but guess what? We're tuning in together. We're listening to the same speaker. And yes, they're hopping on our stages. You need to get ready, the visual. And also another, just a little nugget I want to give people. You know, often we have been said, look, practice in front of the mirror and get yourself ready for a presentation and stuff like that. So I'm going to give you a few tips here. Number one, you know, write your presentation out. That's number one. It helps you get clarity. It helps you get your speech and your thoughts together. So when you're speaking, it actually flows. I know a lot of times we're like, I got it all in my head. Trust me, I do the same thing. And every time I write it out, it flows so much better. Number two, use Zoom. Zoom is where you can get you can really hone in on your voice. I tell people all the time, a lot of times I hate hearing my own voice, but you know what? Once I get on Zoom, after you hear it about 20 times, the same thing, you're like, oh, that don't sound so bad. Same voice, you're just going through, but it helps you. It helps you get clarity. You can also do, for you that don't have the money or whatever, go ahead and do your own little speaking spiel. Do a 2 or 3 minute, record it on Zoom, and that's what you submit to your conference directors so that you're ready for anything. Because when we ask, the first thing we're gonna ask, bio and your headshot. Those are the first two things gonna come out our mouth. And then we're gonna send you to that little page and you're gonna fill it out. And a lot of them will ask for that speaker reel. Trust me, all of the big conferences. And like I said, they don't look for just everybody at the top. They look at everybody to see if your message is what they're looking to share with their people. You don't know who your message is for, but I do know it is meant for you to share your story in all formats, in including books, but also on the speaker stage. Somebody needs to hear your story. Somebody is waiting for you to show up. And you, as somebody said, it's almost a crime. It's a crime that you ain't sharing your story. Somebody needs to hear your story. Somebody in another country needs to hear your story. So go ahead and start putting yourself out there. Speak it out. It's not meant for you to hold it inside. It's meant for you to share it out. So be that testimony and share your story through your presentation.
Queen, I'm telling you, that is so good. Yes, yes, yes. And I mean, you know, I'm just over here just like the church saying amen. I mean, you know, I think about this year, obviously everybody pivoted to virtual. And I know my first event I had this year was right when the pandemic hit, because I was supposed to go to Africa. I was so excited. I had never been to Africa, and I had nailed this keynote speaking opportunity for Global Women of Influence and Leadership. I was supposed to be there April 1st, and I was going to be there on the 30th or the 31st of March. Had my shots and everything. I already had my passport, but I was ready. And I was hearing about this COVID stuff. My husband was like, well, baby, I don't think you're going to be. I was like, hey. The event coordinator did not reach out to me yet. I was like, well, surely she wouldn't. I was like, well, she hasn't reached out, honey. She checked. So, I mean, unless she reach out, I mean, you know, I was like, I'm going, because I didn't know to what extent, obviously, COVID had gotten to, because we had heard little pieces, little missing information. So when I tell you, when she hit me, she literally hit me up. I remember it was March the 16th. By March the 29th, 2 weeks later, I had my first virtual event. I mean, I was boop, 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 boop. Like on the 16th, by the 18th. Dr. Tonya, I think you would have, but 2 days later, I was, yes, I'm canvassing for, didn't know, because it's a totally different beast. Let's just be real about that. The technical side of it, I don't care what you've done before, because I too, have hosted, especially with the Queen Experience platform, have hosted live events, and that's a whole different other nature of the beast. But when you go virtual, woo, you definitely, the technicality and just all the other things have to come into place. But I'm sharing all of that to say, you and I both, I know we've received hundreds, if not thousands, of submissions who want to step on stage or participate or what have you. And you just hit, again, I've said this 3 times, but the nail on the head. Queens, let's get our stuff together. I heard somebody say that if you stay ready, you don't have to get ready. And if you want to be taken seriously, so here's the deal. You can have the perfect example I give. Love Ruth Chris. Haven't been in a minute. Oh, shout out to Ruth Chris. I take a steak that 400 degrees, that salt and that butter be sizzling. Okay, I'm sorry. Maybe I'm getting hungry. But the point I'm trying to make is this. You can have that good of a steak. It's amazing. It's amazing. Some people, maybe you like bones. Whoever your favorite, top Flemings, whatever. Whoever is your jam, good piece of steak. It's high quality, right? But if they bring it out to you on a trash can lid, okay, what's the probability that you're going to eat it? Now, it's still that Ruth Chris, Fleming's, Bones, whoever, but they bring it out on a trash can lid. Now, here's what I'm saying, Queen. Pick up what I'm putting down. I'm not calling you trash. I'm not calling what you do as trash. But when you have these keen opportunities to level up and you give them an iPhone picture for your headshot, and when you give them, looks like some handwritten note of your bio that doesn't really give them the voice of you, when you give them video and you ain't even speaking on it, you may have a story that is like none other, like God himself came down and saved you and your family, and it will bless the whole world if they hear it. They won't even get to hear it because you just gave them that amazing steak on a trash can lid. Do you understand what I'm saying? I want you to hear what I'm saying. So it's not that, oh, I don't want to do all that. I don't want to get all polished. I don't want to. Look, if you want people to hear your message and you want to make an impact, which could lead to profitability in your business, no matter what you do, I don't care what business you have, you've got to get your presentation in order. Now, on the flip side of that, don't be all pretty and be dressed up like a little piggy. What do you call it? Oh, I can't even get it right. Help me, Lord. But where they had a piggy and they dressed up, it's still a pig. So what I mean by that is you still got to have quality. You still have to be able to speak to what you're saying, or whatever your business is reputable and is valid. But don't just go for being the prettiest in the pen and then your message is not put together. So it really is a combination of the two. But at least if it's pretty, at least they might give you at least a glance. But I'm not even giving you a glance if you bring me a piece of steak on a trash can lid. So that's the best way that I can give that to you. And what Kearn just explained to you is just some of those fundamental things that you gotta have. You must have that headshot and that bio. That's like no brainer. Gotta have that. And then video of you speaking. I too have received video. Somebody, I ain't gonna call it no people out, but Queen sent me a video with the Queen. She was with her kids. They were at the pool. And the dog was jumping in the pool. I'm like, now, is she, what did she, maybe she clicked something wrong. Because why would you be sending me a picture of y'all kicking at the pool? Your conversation with your kids at the pool? That's how I'm supposed to hear your voice? Girl, I'm not doing all that. I'm gonna say Control Alt Delete. Thank you so much. Our submissions have been filled. I'm not even doing that. So I just want to be real. You got to think it's almost like whether they're director or the people that are taking a look to say if they want you on their platform, or if you're a good fit for them. It's almost like in the corporate world, HR, and they're getting all those resumes. Okay, new job then came out. Bam, everybody wanted. Girl, we're getting up out of this cubicle. So everybody's applying for the position, right? How are you sending in your resume? Okay, great. You got your 4-year degree. I hate to bust your bubble, but everybody that's applying got their 4-year degree. Everybody got their master's. Matter of fact, what are you going to do to stand out? What are you going to do to say, I'm different? Take a look at me and do it in a tasteful way that resonates with the person, the decision maker. You know, some folks are so keen, and I learned this through corporate, and my goodness, I'm telling you, people would always want to get to the president. They would want to get to the CEO, the COO, the CFO, the A, B, C, D, E, F, G, right? And that's cute, and they make decisions, but you need to be working the middleman. You need to be getting with I would get to the chief of staff, honey. I would get to their assistant. Why? Because the assistant might be making $10 an hour. No, not knocking anyone who's making $10 an hour. God bless you. But she might be making $10 an hour. But you know what she does? She sees the CEO every day. She knows his favorite coffee. She knows what his wife likes. She knows what flowers to get. She knows his birthday. She knows where he getting ready to be in the next 10 minutes. So guess what? Who's my BFF? And people will wonder how I would get my team certain things and trophies. And, well, how'd you get that? Oh, honey, me and Katie, we can ready to go to lunch. I'm just trying to, I hope you're picking up these clues and nuggets and all that good stuff, because I just want you to grow in this season. And it's not about creating false relationships. It's with the spirit of excellence, and it's still with authenticity. However, it's chess, not checkers. And we want to help you play chess. And some of y'all still playing checkers. Let's play chess, because you're a queen. Checkmate. Okay? Boom. So just go ahead and shut it down. Look, Dr. Tonya, I'm coming to you, and then we're going to wrap it up. So, queens, as you begin to think about final statements that you want to give to these queens as they're listening to you, what you've got coming up in 2021, what you got coming up in 2021 that they can participate in. Let them know how they can reach you, connect with you, be a part of whatever you've got going on. It's okay. I'm okay with that. I know there are some platforms where you can't really share. You know, my thing is, it's not that you're selling. I look at it as you're providing a solution. And I want the women who hear you, because you all are experts in Girl on Fire, I want them to get the solution, or at least get the keys to the solution. Okay, we can work on the solution. At least get the key. Can we get a key? Give them a key. Yes, come on. And I want you to be able to do that and give them a final note. So before we do that, Dr. Tonya, I want to make sure I come back to you, because even though you focus on grants and the contracts, you do a lot of other business pieces to help your queens in this season. And I just really want to peel that back a little bit more. Share exactly outside of, okay, I know if they want $1 million contract, we already know we're hitting up Tanya Blackmon tonight. You're getting a call. You're going to get a bird gonna come through your house with a message at the end. And we want you to answer that. But outside of the contracts, how else are you positioned, or better yet, how did you get your team in position to serve business owners in this season outside of grants?
Okay, well, one of the first things we did is that as soon as COVID-19 hit, we said, okay, we're going to help everybody start their business, LLCs, for free. And we did that from March until August, because I understand that in order for anybody to have received any of that money that was coming down the pipeline, you had to be a business owner. You had to have things in place. So the people that weren't already business owners, we wanted to help them do that. We help people do business plans. We help people develop strategies. We help with marketing. We help with the visibility. We are a one-stop shop when it comes to small business development. I love new starts, because I love hearing people's business stories. One of the things that we also do is it's called the Mucho Dinero podcast. The Mucho Dinero podcast. And I've been just meeting people from around the world ever since last year. And on that's a podcast where we actually have new starts come on, and they tell their business story. They share what they sell. They share their love for whatever they're doing. And I love doing that. So what we did is we pivoted, to be honest with you. Last year, I'm going to be honest, I was a part of an online summit, and it wasn't successful at that particular time. But this year I collaborated with a couple of people, Minister Nakita, a shameless plug there. And collaboration is what really helped us really scale up. I know a lot of people during this season have gone through a whole lot of horrific, probably because of losing jobs and what have you. However, our business has grown, and I believe that it grew because of the collaborations that we formed along the way. I really do believe that. And I know what I've been called to do. I've been called to lead women to their wealthy place. So most of the time when women come to me, they'll say, okay, I've been dreaming about this for years, but now's the time for me to do it. Or I've been praying, And I think that you're an answer to my prayer. I often hear that. So what I would tell the women out there today is that if you want to get started talking to me, initially you don't have to pay. Just go to www.drtonyab.com. That's www.drtonyab.com, and that's with an O. And go ahead and just get your complimentary session with me. I still do that. I talk to every new business person. I talk to every aspiring business owner, and I listen. I listen to what's in their heart, and I get whatever's in their head and whatever's in their heart, and we get it on paper. That's why business planning is so important. I believe that success is planned. So if you're on the fence about anything, come on, let's get started. Take everything, all those ideas, dust them off, and let's just get it rolling. So that's really what we do. We meet people where they are through those conversations, and then we develop a specific strategy just for that particular business owner. And then we have a plan, and we walk it out step by step. So you're not alone. If you're listening to us, you're not alone. You have a group of people, I believe, that are more than equipped and anointed to get you what you need, to help you, to meet you where you are, and to help you grow and scale. And, you know, we live in America. I'm still proud to be an American. There's so many different opportunities is available. Many of the panelists today talked about those different types of opportunities. Don't be scared anymore. Just do it. Just do it. Come on, you can do it. Remember, it's on the inside of you. God has given us the ability to get wealth. I said this earlier. God has given us the ability to get wealth. So whatever you're good at, whatever you love, monetize that particular skill, that particular product, and sell it.
Period. With a T at the end. And an exclamation. Come on. That's it, because your gift makes room for you. The word tells us, you know, when oh Lord help me, Jesus, I don't have it right in front of me, but bottom line is this: you don't want to muzzle an ox while it's treading grain. And that simply means if the donkey is out there treading the grain for you, don't get mad at him if he starts eating some of it. It's the same thing for you. You're not a donkey queen. We know this. All right. But the point is, if you're giving out into the earth, why wouldn't our Father want you to be able to be blessed by that? You're seeking his face. You're seeking his kingdom and his righteousness. Matthew 6:33. You're seeking that first. My word says, all these things will be given unto me. And that includes the financial piece. That's not the only piece. I don't want you to walk away from this panel of these amazing women who are just going to get it and pouring into you through this fireside chat. But it is a piece of it, and we know that, right? So love what you said, your wealthy place. Tell the queens as we're wrapping up, any final thoughts, since we're already with you, Dr. Tonya, any final thoughts, and tell them how, other than scheduling a consultation, how can they follow you on social media? Do you have any upcoming events in 2021 that you're privy to share? I know some queens all clandestine, and I can't tell until this launch date. So whatever you can share, let them know that, and then let them know the social media handles they can follow you at, and any final thought as we wrap it up tonight.
Okay, thank you. Well, the easiest way to get in contact with me is actually on Instagram. That's at Dr. Tonya B _live. Once again, that's at Dr. Tonya B _live. You go to Facebook, you just have to type in Tonya Blackmon. On purpose, I left that up there because I wanted my customers to know that I am a real person. You know, I do have a business page also, which is Conglomerate Empowerment for Facebook. You can find me on LinkedIn also. And I love talking to people. I'm addicted to helping people. That's one of the things. So there's two things that's happening. My birthday is coming up really soon. And on my birthday, I'm releasing a new book. It's called Boss Nana, How to Actually Become One. I am the proud nana of 3 grandchildren. And it was my grandchildren that gave me that title. So it's going to tell my story. I'm going to share different things that I actually do in business day to day that's going to be able to help people. You're going to be able to get some clues in there, sister. So don't forget to buy it. It's coming out real soon. And then next year, we're going to be doing the Secure Your Own Bag #2 in the month of January. So I'm really excited about that. And just once again, you're not listening to us by chance. You're not listening to us by chance. Take these nuggets, eat them, and grow from them. Thank you, Minister Nakita.
Thank you, Queen. You are so fabulous. Just love, love, love your spirit. And I'm gonna share this super quick. Met Queen. Can't even keep track of the years, honey. This just, I saw a post or a meme or something on Facebook. It was like, 5 years later, and we're still in 2020. It was something crazy like that. And so the years just run by. But so this is at the end of 2019, we connected. I can't even remember how we connected. I have no clue. I don't know if it was through a mutual friend, through one of the groups. Hashtag, I will say to you, Queens, get in some of these groups on social media. They're not all the same. Find the one that works for you and that feeds you mentally, whatever you need to be fed on. Find that group and find you some folk, because you can find some. But long story short, we connected, and it was just like boom. And I remember you saying, I can't even remember what I said, and at the time I was still working for my full-time company, my employer, but I remember telling you I was leaving. I said, I'm out of here. I'm out you. Peace. But watch me walk it out. But and we connected, and I remember you said, I just want to help. Whatever that was. And I mean, you were like one of the first people that said that to me. It wasn't any, oh, well, yeah, I'm gonna help you if you give me this, give me that. It was just like genuine, authentic. And that's when I sent you over that blank check, and I said, if you can just fill this out for $1 million, that's all I need. You said, if you can give me that, Queen, God is gonna bless you richly. No, just kidding. I didn't do that.
It's
That was all
coming.
I did. What you tell people, what do you need? Oh, well, here you go. No, I'm just kidding. But I say that to say your spirit has always been that, so I can vouch for that in authenticity, you wanting to connect with people and help. So God bless you. Y'all make sure y'all reach out and connect. So my bounce up to my Queen Palmer, our total financial power guru. Please, Queen, tell them, again, really your final nuggets, your final notes to success, being a girl on fire, or how you want to encourage them in 2021. And then also let them know what you got coming up. I mean, you always got something popping off. All y'all do. That's just, I can't even keep up sometimes. I'm like, honey, you just better tag me, because it's just popping off all down the timeline, but so let them know what you've got going on, and then how can they get connected with you. And if there's any freebie, who like freebies? Anybody like freebies? Okay, we already got Dr. Tonya say reach out, she'll talk to you for free. Palmer, and let them know what you have for them, if you do, and if you don't, that's okay. Let me also add this caveat, Queens, if you're wanting to level up in this season, everything's not going to be free. We don't even have time for that piece today. Be willing to invest in yourself. You have to be willing to spend money. I'm gonna just be honest. They don't have the obligation to pour years of training, years of school, years of corporate experience, or what they've learned along the way, just to pour into you freely for free all day, right? I'm not saying Queens won't help you with this or that, but if you really want to get to the meat and the heart of it, you're gonna have to open that wallet, and that's just real. It's not about opening your wallet to them to make them this greater 6, 7 figure, 8 figure, 9 figure individual. It's about saying, I believe in me so much so that I'm willing to put my money where my mouth is. All right, I'm gonna just say that. So Queen, go ahead and let them know what you've got going on in 2021 and how they can connect and follow with you, because I know they want to get in the game with you too.
Yes, I can be found on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook. The handles are Total Power Financial, or my personal page, Charcora Palmer, on Facebook and LinkedIn as well. Total Power Financial, that's how you can find me. I leave the handle simple so that you have no issues in locating me. If I can leave you with anything, is do not give up on yourself. Don't think that things are too hard that they can't be repaired. Any area of your life, all you need is to come up with a why strong enough in order for you to go to the next level, right? And stick to it. We have a lot of things that are going on in 2021. Definitely, I want you to catch the book that actually was released on today. You can get it next year too. Definitely want to get that in your hands. And we're talking about gaining back your confidence, Queens. So go on Amazon, check it out. And the Queen Experience, snatching back your confidence. We definitely want you to snatch back that confidence in your life that can help you go to the next level, so you overcome yourself, right? Also, I want you to, I'm asking for your support as I join Sean Fair in April of 2021 on a leadership conference tour. The conference experience is going to be held in Detroit, Michigan, and I am excited about that. Asking for your support and just even drop in, and if you wish to speak, that may be an avenue that you want to take as well. Just go for what you know, you guys. Step out of your comfort zones so that you can actually get to the place in which you are blessed. The blessings are manifested in areas in which you are uncomfortable. Keep that in mind, and I look forward to your growth. Happy 2021.
Yes, Queen. And I just want to, you saying it all sweet and cute, but I just want to be clear, the event that she's speaking about, is my people Forbes not helping host that? Forbes?
Yes.
Yes. Okay, let me just go ahead and drop that for you. Oh, you think it's another fair or something? Forbes is there and they're helping host that thing, and this queen is speaking there. So make sure you just get connected, right? Let's speak it out. That's amazing. If you Forbes, come on. That's awesome, Queen. God bless you in that. All right, we're going to jump to, yes, thank you. And I'm so glad to have you. You are amazing. And she is a part of the Queen Experience. Guide to Playing Your Royal Position, Part 2, Snatch Your Confidence Back. Yes, pick it up, Queen.
Yeah.
Yes, we snatching it back. We snatching it all the way back, honey. Oh, come on. I'm sorry, I get excited. I apologize. Not really. But Frances, Queen, I'm also crazy, y'all. That's just who I am. You know, I've had people tell me that I miss my calling. They said, you know, in comedy. I'm like, why I miss it? Why are you trying to put me in a box? I could be a minister and comedy and publisher and speaker and wife and mom and boop, 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 boop. I sure will. That's what God called me to be. How you doing? Okay, Frances, Queen, please let them know just any final thoughts that you want to give, and then also let them know what you've got going on, because you are a mover and shaker as well. Several things coming down the pipe for you. Share what you've got going on, how they can get connected with you, because I know they want to do that.
Okay, thank you so much. Final thoughts. I want people to know that you are worthy. You are powerful. You are precious. And you are peaceful and you are free. The only person that can hold you back is you. And once you get yourself out of the way, the skies are the limit. I want you to know that just because situations occur in your life, those situations do not define who you are. No matter what anybody may have said, no matter what grandma may have said, grandpa, or Sister Joan down the street. You are what God says you are. So keep that in mind. Now, how do you find me? On LinkedIn, I'm Frances Jones. You can go to my personal page on Facebook, Frances Jones. I do have a business page. It's Heart Desires Fulfillment Coaching. So also you can find me on Instagram, Heart Desires Coaching. I'm on Twitter. One of the things that I got going on, and I mentioned it already, but I want to reiterate the book that I have coming out on March 25th, 2021, Overcoming the Emotional Stigmas of Infertility, Barren but Not Ashamed. That book is a 20-year journey of my life going through infertility, but it's more than just me telling my story. I have the techniques, the tools, the tips that I used to break free of the tormenting thoughts and everything that held me bound. You read that book and you want to be free, you'll be free. So I just want to reiterate that. And it's not just for people who's going through infertility, but it's to bring awareness to those who were able to conceive, but may not understand the plight of those who have gone through. I just want people to know that. Also, go to my actual business website, heartdesirescoaching.com. You can get a free consultation with me. In that consultation, I have two sides of the business, like I've stated. One is related to infertility, to help people to be able to decide, because I don't choose for you. I don't make the decisions for you, but I help partner with you to help you make the decision on how you want to build your family and how you can be free. On the second side is the transformational life purpose coaching. Dr. Tonya mentioned it so well. She basically said that, you want to get clear, or if you want to be able to do a business, you want to know what you want to do. I help you get clear. If you don't know what that is, I help you get clear on what that is. We work together. I have different coaching packages to help you figure it out. Then you can march over there to Dr. Tonya and she can help you fund it. But if you don't know what you want to do, knocking on her door is not going to do you any good. Figure it out, then go to her. Then go to Miss Palmer. Figure it out first. That's step one. And so I want to be able to schedule, you can schedule a coaching consultation with me. If it's infertility, it's a 45-minute consultation because it takes a little bit more time. It's a little more in depth. 30 minutes consultation if it's transformational life coach purpose. But I want to be able to help you to get your mind right so you can get your life together. And I appreciate everyone for allowing me to be here today. Thank you so much.
So passionate. I love that. And I believe that you will get their life together. I do. Just from like right here in Atlanta right now, I just feel like, do I need to get my life together, Lord? Let me see if I reach out, you know, but I really do believe that you have that passion. And check this out, while you were speaking, oh, God just put something, we might have to do this off the camera. I might have to catch it behind the scene, but what I just heard you to say, because my brain computes like crazy, is like this referral system. I want you to hear this. She said she's going to get you in the game and get you clear. Yeah, she's going to get you to Dr. Tonya so she can help you with the business plan. She going to bounce you off to Miss Palmer so she can help you get that unsecured loan. And when she finishes that, you can come to me and Kearn and we're going to get you on stage so you can now maximize. Come on, there it is. And I heard the infertility and I heard all of that, but I heard that. That's what I heard. Find you some people that can hear that. Meaning they can hear in between the lines. They can see vision in you, but through you and in a connection. You understand what I'm saying? Find you some visionary folk. And it's okay. Everybody wants to say they're a visionary. And that's I get that. Everybody wants to be the chief and nobody wants to be the Indian. I remember they used to say that in school. Everybody will be the chief. Nobody will be the Indian. God bless everyone Native American and all of that. There's no, you know, got to be politically correct, honey. But what I'm trying to say is find you some folk where you can connect and collaborate, where they see the vision in you. They see the vision in themselves. And more importantly, they see how y'all can mesh that thing together, where y'all can have 2 or 3 gathered in my name, not my name, his name, and where he can truly get the glory. And I just heard that from you saying that. So I'll be reaching out. Yeah, you know, I'll be like, my mom used to call me, I'm gonna say this and be quiet. We're gonna come and you're gonna shut us down. Kearn. So my mom used to call me, it used to be a kid show called Pinky and the Brain. My sister, and God bless my mama, her soul. She's been gone 12 years now, but I just thank God for her and just the foundation of Christ she set in me. You know, you train up a child in the way that they should go, right? Even though I acted a fool a couple times, but I came back to the cross, so I thank God for that. But she used to say, Pinky in the Brain, and she'd be like, what you doing over there? Like as if I was trying to get over my bigger sister. I'm like, no, Mom, you said the pie. So I was going to give her, you know, like we said, I was going to give her 2. I was going to keep 8, you know. So she would say, what you trying to do? I'd be like, Mom, you know, what do I try to do every night? Try to take over the world, you know. So I'm sharing that little, but she would do that. Brain, I'm like, what are you talking about, Mom? And my brain just computing. So I say that in a good way, right? Get you some folks where it's computing, and they can see how you can level up and be benefited and have a mutually beneficial, no parasitic relationships in 2021. We cutting that off at the head. The people that are pulling on you like parasites, you know what a parasite does? They find a warm body. Mm-hmm. You living, guess what, Queen? You're a warm body. So they find a warm body and they get in there and they get the nutrients, the good stuff. Mm-hmm. Get it all out. So that would be your encouragement. That would be your hope, maybe your finances, that would be your connections, whatever's good in you. They want to drain it out and suck it out so it's dry. And then when it's dead, the host is no longer living, they can no longer get any nutrients. They find a way out of the body and find another host. Mm-hmm. So in 2021, we're recognizing the parasites and we're dropping them like they hot. And we are finding mutualistic, mutual beneficial relationships to where we can soar up and build up together in the body of Christ. Bet. Perfect. So yes, Queen. So Kearn, go ahead and close us out, Queen. I know you got a billion things going on. So if you can pull out your Rolodex, And let us know. You know, y'all better be getting this. I don't know what you got to do to write it down, because you want to be in the know, because this queen is serious about her business. So let them know what you got going on. How can they connect with you? Give them final thoughts, final encouragement as a girl boss, as a girl on fire, and then let them know really how can they get with you. And I believe you said you had a project coming up, so just let them know how they can get into your world. How can they get in Kearn's world, okay, and be blessed at the same time?
So I'm going to start off by saying, you know, it's time to walk in your gifts, okay? It's time to use your talents that you have. In Matthew 25:14-30, there's a story that I often share about a master who had servants that worked for him. And two of them took the talent, which was the money he gave them, and they went and invested that money so that they would be able to return to that master his profit, right? Okay. But then you had that third servant who buried his talent, the money. He only had one, so he buried it. And so when the master came to all the servants, he talked to the one that had the most, and of course he doubled his money. He was like, I'm out here, I'm just gonna put it all in and get it all back. So he doubled the money. The one in the middle, he did, you know, half and half. The one at the end, buried. So the master looked at the one, of course he celebrated the ones that used their talent, that used that money, did what he asked them to do, invest the money. And so the other one, he looked at him and said, how dare you not go, and at least you could have put it in the bank. You could have got something. You didn't do nothing with that talent. Nothing. He looked at that servant like, I'm going to deal with you. And it was a harsh punishment because he didn't use the talent. I'm using that as a parable to, you have gifts. God didn't give you a gift. He didn't give you gifts for you to sit on them and say, oh, that job held me down. Oh, I was over here. I had all these kids. I had all this. Yes, we all been there. Hey, I've done it myself. Got 3 grown kids myself. Done all that I needed to do. But he means for you to use these God-given gifts that he gave to you for his glory, for his testimony, for you to give that testimony so it can go out to the world and reach somebody. So I'm telling you, it is your time. He has slowed it down. You can call it whatever you want. Did he create COVID? Who knows? I don't think so. But that being said, you can't complain right now because you got time to walk in those God-given talents. So one of the things I tell people all the time, the door's closed. You go to that door. You looking for an opportunity. That door closed. It's not over. Go to the next door. If that door don't work, hello, there's a back door. As Nakita said earlier, you know, there's a reason why there's a secretary that's the gatekeeper at the front. Get to know that secretary, right? Try the back door. Try to know some other people. And man, if that don't work, if you're not going to kick it down, which I suggest that you do, then create your own. Create your own. It's time. I teach people how to create your own event. Why? Okay, I could be like, oh, I don't need nobody else with another event. You know, I got my own events and stuff. But no, it is time for you to create your own event. It is time for you to create your own business. It is time for you to move in the year of creation. You should have been already creating. If you're not, walk in it in 2021. Tap into those gifts that are inside of you. And trust me, there are multiple gifts that live inside of you right now. And you, if you want to know why you're frustrated, if you want to know why you're discouraged, it's because you're not walking in your gifts. You often hear people say, do something that you would do for free because you love it, right? Do something that you would do for free. No, nobody got to pay you. That is your gift. That's one of them. That is one. So I am telling you, if you're not doing that, that's why you're not happy on that job. That's why you not happy making somebody else rich. You know why the billionaires like Oprah and Bill Gates and the one that owned Amazon and all
Bezos.
That's right. So look, you know why they're rich? I'm gonna tell you why. They walked in their gift as soon as they recognized it. Hello, they're walking in their gifts. You can't hate on them because they are walking in a gift. God gives everybody. I don't care what you think about them. They got gifts and they're walking in their gifts. Now, whether they use it for good or bad, hello, they're making a lot of money. So walk in your gifts because that's what's going to allow you to create those streams of revenue. And you know good and well, you should have at least 7. That's the rule of thumb. The rule, if your only stream of income is working for somebody else, well, shoot, I'd be frustrated too. You are meant to be rich in all forms, right? Yeah, and that rich is a vast word, you know, but you want to walk in your blessing. You want to walk in your blessing. God wants his people to be a beacon of light for everybody else. So it's time. And the only way you're going to get that, you got to create something. You got to tap in and create something. And if you can't do it by yourself on the beginning, collaborate. Collaborate. Look, people ask, how you in all so many places? Because I have people that are like ambassadors for me. And I collaborate with them. I pump them. They pump me. We all walk together. I always say, hey, reach back and pull somebody with you. If you can't, pull a tribe with you. You know, it is better and it's a lot more fun if you can pull some people with you. Now, cut those parasites off. I do agree with Nakita on that. Cut them off. They dragging everybody else down and holding up your blessings. But I am telling you, it is time to create your own. It is time to walk in your gifting. And so I invite you, I have 4 conferences next year and I'm kicking it off January 1 through the 3rd. You will see Woman on Fire. That's right. We talking Woman on Fire. Yes, it's that year. It's that year because you know what? Nakita and I want you to start that year strong. Start the year strong. Set your goals, make your plans, and walk in it. You know, as a coach, when I teach you to create your own plan, create your own event, the first thing I teach is make a plan. Make a plan. Yes, I'm that person. People met me in the past. Feet first, think about it later. Walk through it. Yes, I've done it many times. I'm a testimony to that. But I am telling you, when we walk through, when I'm teaching people how to create their own event, I'm often talking about, you know, making your plan, build a strong team around you. There are other streams of revenue, not just sponsors. There are other monies that you can tap into. Selecting those right speakers. I'm speaking to y'all speakers. I'm looking for speakers for all 4 of my conferences. So you can go to CoachKearn.com right now and start reaching out to me because I am looking for speakers. And I often teach people how to promote your event. Promote your event. I teach that in all of my trainings and stuff. But I also teach people how to promote themselves as well. So definitely if you're looking to be coached on visibility, things like that, I can do that. You can find me as Kearn Cherry, Kearn Crockett Cherry. You can, my business, PRN Home Care, Success Women's Conference, Power Up Summit, all those are out there. You'll find me a lot on Facebook, but my favorite, my ultimate favorite is LinkedIn. So word of wise, if you're not on LinkedIn, trust me, you are missing the boat, especially if you're looking for a job. LinkedIn is where all the HR people, everybody, Coca-Cola, whoever, you name it, Nike, etc., all those businesses are there, the HR people there. Shoot, their CEOs are there. So get on there so you can be visible to others in case you're looking for a contract and things like that. You want to be on that. And I am all about collaborating, But go to CoachKearn.com and you can find me there for any of my events. Successconference.info. Hello, y'all. We had Les Brown last month. Yes, Les Brown at our conference last month. So yes, we are looking for speakers. We are blowing up stages. I have level up. I have power up, and then success is coming again in September. And we are 24/7. We're 24/7. We're 365 days of the year now. And so we also have a network called Success Mentor Network, which you can join. Well, we'll be bringing in people to speak at boot camp, to do masterminds. We want to help you level up to the next level. Stop surfacing and being comfortable and satisfied. You know that ain't a God. You got to go to the next level. He wants you to be visible in all things that you do. You need to bring people to him. So, and I have one more thing. Make It Happen. Make It Happen is a book project that God gave to me. He keeps giving me these book projects, y'all. And, you know, I'm just not a natural writer, but you know what? He sends confirmation, y'all, because it's sure enough, as I'm sitting there saying, God, I need my 30 authors to come in to me. And is this the title? You know, so you ask God, is this the title? Guess what? You know what? He asked and you shall receive. As I often say, closed mouths don't get fed. So you got to ask. And he gave me Isaiah 60:22. And he shall make it happen. So know that you should be writing that book. You should be in a book project. If not mine, Nakita, I'm sure that's a who. Tonya got one on here. Several people got books going on. Be a part of a book. Share your story. Share it right now. If you want to reach me again, CoachKearn.com.
Drops mic. Boom! Look, y'all, this has been absolutely phenomenal. I mean, I feel very, very blessed from each of you, your story, nuggets, pieces. I love how I get to connect with other women, right? And get to know a piece of their story. One, I know that I'm not alone, right? I'm not the only one going cuckoo for Cocoa Puff sometimes in my head, right? No matter how successful or how I might have my little lashes, my lipstick popping, still human. We're still human. These people are human. They're not on some pedestal. They bleed just like you, but they have found a way with Christ as their foundation to walk through the mud, so to speak, right? And they're equipped so you can do the same, because why? You're not meant to do it alone. So if you don't walk away with anything else, understand that this is a camaraderie, a sisterhood, which many of us do in our respective fields, but that is what it's about. Him getting the glory, you knowing that you're not alone, so you can level up, power up in this season, and do and be all that God has called you to be. You were designed to create. The first, come on, saints, the first scripture, God created the heavens and the earth. So the first action word in the first, I got it right here on my 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. The fifth word, 5, the number of grace. God has graced you to create. He just gave that to me just now. I didn't have that before. He's graced you to create. Right? So if the first thing our Heavenly Father did was create, so the question is, what has He called you to create? And are you creating? And who are you creating it with? Right? Because He's graced you for it. No matter what your journey is, no matter what your walk of life is, where you came from, whether the hood like me or you were born with a quote unquote silver spoon in your mouth, it doesn't matter. You were called to create. To worship Him, but you were called to create, because people need you and they need your creation. There are people, and I tell folks this, but there are people that cannot level up because you have not said yes. There are people that cannot enter that next realm of success, that next realm that God wants them to go into, because you haven't given them the keys, because you didn't say yes. So it is selfish when you say, I'm going to hold it. I'm going to keep it, whether it's pain, whether it's pleasure, whether it's good or bad. When you hold it to yourself, you are keeping it selfishly away from other people who could benefit from you. So the key here is get it out, however you get it out. It's a book, it's coaching, I don't care what it is, just get it out, honey. It ain't meant for you. That's it. You over here, why me, Lord? Why all of this coming to me? Because it ain't, first of all, you got it twisted. It ain't for you. It's not for you. Let's start there. It's not for you. He ain't doing this to you. He's trying to do this through you. He's not doing this to you. He's trying to do it. I'll get to preaching now. I'm going to let y'all go. But understand what I'm trying to say to you. He wants you to create. He wants you to scale. He wants you to soar. He wants you to win. He wants you to link arms, and he wants to get the glory. That's it. Whether shoestrings or you hopping on stage with Les Brown, he wants him to get the glory. So if you do that, you're going to be pleasing to him, and you're going to bless the world. Stop trying to be a small town hero when God has called you to the nations in whatever that is, okay? So look, I'm gonna let y'all go. We love y'all. God bless y'all. This has been a dynamic. I'm on fire. My family know it'd be hard for me to go to sleep after I do stuff like this, because I'll be like, what'd she say? I wrote that down. I'm taking notes too. Look, this ain't it. I tell people all the time, even when I have the opportunity to minister a word, I'm not talking to you. We're talking together. We in this thing together. Who arrived? Show me. I'm like, Paul, I'm the least of these. Okay, please. Ain't no shame in my game, but that's why God can use me, because there's no shame in my game. I'm not ashamed. The enemy wants you, Queen said that earlier, Francis, the enemy wants you to be shamed. Where do we get this shame from? The enemy is the persecutor. He's the one to say, you. He's the accusatory. He wants to accuse you. He wants you to feel shame that you're not good enough. Or if I step on that stage, who am I? He wants you to feel small and insignificant, and you don't count. And I'm here to tell you, baby, if you hear, you count. You count. Your voice matters. And I hope you voted. First of all, let's just be clear. Shout out to Camilla. I'm just saying, whether you are Democrat or not, it doesn't matter. If you're here, then I'm assuming that 9 times out of 10 that you are a girl boss, and it is an honor to know that we have stepped into that realm as women. Whether you're Republican or not, you should be proud that we now have women represented in the White House, honey. Okay, in that level, highest ranking, next level is the presidente. Okay, so I say that without getting all political, but I love y'all. God bless y'all. Every woman that was here, make sure y'all connect. Their information is below, so click on their links. Their links will be here. Make sure you follow them, and make sure you pick up the wisdom and the nuggets. Schedule the consultations. Get into the book program. Go ahead and get into their bookkeeping system so they can help you get these grants, get these loans. Find out what you need in clarity. And then, of course, you can get with your queen at any time at Jesus Coffee and Prayer. Okay, that's Facebook, that's Instagram, Twitter is Jesus Coffee Pray. You can go to my website, I think that's 3 W's, JesusCoffeeandPrayer.com, and get in the game. Love you. God bless you. Until the next time, this has been a dynamic episode of Girl on Fire. God bless y'all. Bye.
Let me tell you this, see, I rock my own money. Keep talking, can't tell me nothing, no.
I went from making $75,000 a year to $75,000 a month. You talk about a girl from the hood, a girl who ain't know nothing about having money in the bank. Literally. How's that happen? It's a God thing. It's a God divine timing thing. It's a divine orchestration with women like this who see greatness in you and are willing to open the doors.
Women of faith, and I'm gonna say this may hurt just a little bit. We think we can just stay in that little cubicle, that little corner. Oh, I know God, I can pray, I can do all this. We just do that. And we say things, I'm waiting on God. He's sitting back like, girl, can y'all tell them I'm waiting on them? They're not waiting on me. You're not waiting on me. It's already done.
Hello everyone, it's your girl Coco from SWV, and you're watching Girl on Fire, hosted by Jesus, Coffee, and Prayer. Now my definition of a girl on fire is myself. I'm a mother, I'm a daughter, a sister, a friend, entrepreneur. I'm fabulous, but most of all, I'm a king's kid. Much love and God bless.
Where my ladies at? Where my independent women?
has graced you to create. He just gave that to me just now. I didn't have that before. He has graced you to create, right? So if the first thing our Heavenly Father did was create, so the question is, what has he called you to create?